The floor of the mouth, the root of the tongue, and the whole oral cavity are a very primary place for taking in of sensory information from birth on, and depending on how your nursing experience was, how your capacity to take in nourishing, how much you were allowed as an infant to put your fingers in your mouth and your toes and to check out your world through your mouth. Oftentimes, the mouth and the tongue and the floor of the mouth, this whole area right here, which in cranial work we call the avenue of expression, is holding tension and is bound down in ways that we are not even conscious of, not even slightly conscious of. But it affects our voice, it affects swallowing, it affects eating, it affects so many different things that it's, I mean, the voice alone is a major issue. So what we're about to launch into is a piece that's fairly simple physically, but it has a very profound effect on this avenue of expression, on this area of the body that is so important for sensory input into the whole central nervous system. I mean, the mouth and the oral cavity are a remarkable part of whether or not we're healthy. If you think about all of just the things we see in movies, and where the tight jaw, stiff upper lip, the inability to express, receive, open, the whole mouth and oral area is very, very culturally sensitive. So I will say the first time I ever watched Emilie do this particular exercise, I remember going, all the things that I had heard as a kid about.
Don't stick to
it. It's like that. There was just this whole quality of, you can't do this. This is wrong. So there's so much cultural stuff around this, and yet this is such a powerful piece for opening up a part of the body that is vital for our health and well-being. Also, when you come back into connection with that fluidity, and if you have had trauma where the head went through these kinds of emotions, like a whiplash, the intelligence of the cells says, let's unwind that trauma. And so sometimes it will want to take you back through something with just exquisite slowness. It's not painful. It's almost like it's unraveling something that it got tightened down around. And it can do that if you have number one, if you have patience, and number two, if you have the connection to the knowing of your cells. One of the things that happens in advanced cranial work, we have something called regional tissue release, where if you had a whiplash, I would take your head and hold it out in gravity. If you're on the table, I would actually take it off the table and hold it and let it show me where it needed to go in order to unravel that whiplash trauma. And between the two of us, we would have the connection to it that you might not have on your own. But here, in this work that we're doing in here, you're making that connection all on your own without anyone touching.